Today I'm heading out on a solo truck camping adventure with my first gen Toyota Sequoia. I always love exploring new places, and on this trip was able to find a stunning lakeside campsite. Despite the cold winter weather, I was determined to enjoy the beauty and make the most of this adventure. Thanks so much for tuning in, and I hope you enjoy today's video. Well, the weather today said it was supposed to be clear skies and sunny, and I am not too sure about that. It's currently 36 degrees and the rain just turned into snow, and we are headed out on a truck camping adventure. I was hoping today the weather might be a little bit better than my last trip. It's not looking too good so far. Today I'm going to be camping in the back of my first gen Toyota Sequoia. I've been building this thing out on my YouTube channel for the past couple of years, and I absolutely love this SUV. Our first goal for today is to go find a spot to camp.
And hide what's down below. So run where the wind blows. Wherever you go, go where love takes you. Run till it breaks through. Dream till it wakes you. Go where love takes you.
Alright guys, well I just pulled up to this spot here behind me. This is really cool. We're at this kind of like lake area today. As you guys can see behind me, there is a ton of open land where we could definitely camp. Sequoia is parked up here. It looks awesome right now. I love these Oxbeam LED lights. All of the lights on my truck are from Oxbeam, and if you want 15% off your Oxbeam order, you can use the code MaxwellPeters at checkout. Big fan of these. They're super bright and they look awesome as well. But yeah, so we just pulled up to this kind of like lake. Super pretty out here. What I was noticing is if we walk down this way a little bit, it looks like there's a ton of flat area, and it almost looks like a road as well. And I'm not sure, but we may be able to even drive out onto that little kind of like rocky area out there, which would be really cool. I'm not exactly sure where I'll want to camp though. I may want to pick a spot kind of in the forest, just if it does continue to kind of rain tonight. But wow, this is a gorgeous location, and I'm excited to kind of just keep exploring here. I just found this gorgeous location here behind me. I was able to kind of drive out on the sandy and rocky bank, and it is so pretty out here. There are just so many areas we could camp out here, whether it's in the forest or just like where the Sequoia is parked now. But for now, this is not a bad spot to hang out and take some pictures. I finally decided on a spot to camp tonight. Just came over here into the forest just in case it does start to rain. Alright, so first things first, we are going to get started kind of setting up camp here. I might try and start a fire just because it is colder today. I think it was 35 degrees when I turned the car off. Let me tell you guys, after the last camping trip where it was just non-stop raining and snowing, it is so nice to have some dry weather today. I definitely feel like rain, snow, or just bad weather is one of the biggest limitations of this setup. As far as the weather for tonight goes, it looks like there's a chance of snow here in the next couple of hours, and then getting down to around 27 degrees. I have a more in-depth video on my channel talking all about winter camping and how to stay warm, but just quickly, this is my setup for tonight. Alright, so starting off, I have this kind of down puffy blanket. I just picked this up and used it for the first time on my last camping trip, and I already know this is going to be awesome for winter camping. Underneath that, I have my sleeping bag. This is a 10-degree sleeping bag. For any of you guys who haven't seen my setup before, I just have a 3-inch foam pad. This is what I use for my mattress. I also have out the front here, I have just a nice fleece fuzzy blanket. This is super warm, and sometimes I'll even wrap this in my sleeping bag if I'm really getting cold. The last thing I have here, and this is for when it gets really cold, is a Mr. Buddy heater. I have a love-hate relationship with this thing. I'm not going to go into specifics about the heater in this video, but it definitely is helpful on those very cold nights. With that being said, I think before you invest in a Buddy heater, make sure you have all of this gear. Make sure you have a sleeping bag, blankets, and everything you need to stay warm. The reason I say that is just in case the heater ends up breaking or you run out of propane, you want to make sure you have all of the other necessary stuff to survive and get yourself safely through the night. You don't want to only rely on that heater. Just being out here for a little bit, it's definitely starting to get cold. So before we start cooking some food, I'm gonna see if I can get a fire going. It might be a little bit difficult because everything is soaking wet right now. We are going to go look for anything that might be somewhat dry just to see if we can get this fire going. Wet wood and a fire typically don't go too well together. All of these branches would be great, but they are just absolutely soaked. I am going to grab some of this wood just because I feel like once we get the fire going, some of this might be able to light, but we'll see. Normally this stuff would be great, but it might just be too wet today. I'm gonna grab it just in case though. I got like a whole bush here, but some of these smaller branches on the ends look like they might be a little bit dry. I will say I definitely want to try and get this fire started here because it is cooling off very fast out here and I'm getting cold. Let's see if we can find a few more things here to get this going. Everything out here is just so wet. Well, it's already getting late and I'm very cold, so this is why I always bring a torch. We're gonna see if we can get it going with this. I'm just trying to get it hot enough so that some of these bigger branches will start to light, but it's pretty difficult when they're all so soaked like this. As much as I'd love to get this fire going, the reality is it requires pretty much constant attention right now, and I am starving, so I'm gonna shift my focus to starting on some dinner. Alright, for dinner tonight, just going to be making some tomato soup and a grilled cheese sandwich. Something hopefully that will help warm me up. Okay, so this is the setup right now. We got the fire that is still struggling to get started here. And then over here we got our cooking setup. I made some tomato soup and a grilled cheese sandwich to go with it. Before I clean up all of this food, I'm going to go on a quick mission to try and find some more pine needles, because these are really the only thing keeping this fire alive right now. Oh sweet, I'm gonna grab this. Alright, well I know you guys probably can't tell, maybe you can see in the light here, but it is starting to snow now. I've pretty much given up on the fire with the wet wood and now the snow coming down. The conditions aren't great for trying to get a fire going. Oh man, it got cold very fast. It wasn't bad most of the day out here, but it just started snowing again. Glad to have at least somewhere inside here to warm up. My jacket got all wet. Nice. Alright, it is time to change out of these wet clothes and get into something warmer here. I don't really have any more plans tonight besides just hanging out in here and trying to stay warm. So I'll see you guys in the morning. I did make it through the entire night without having to use my heater. It did get pretty cold, but having the sleeping bag with this blanket as well has been a huge game changer. curious what the temperature is out here, so I'm gonna see if I can check. All right, so it's 26 degrees out here right now. Yeah, it is brisk. Little update too with the drone, by the way. This was my first time flying it since I crashed it into a tree. If you're interested in seeing that video, it's on my channel. It's the video of camping in the Ochiko National Forest. On that trip, I lost the drone 45 feet up in the tree, was able to recover it, and this was the first time testing it out, flying it again. Some of these obstacle sensors don't work anymore. They're designed to stop the drone if it's going to fly into an object like a tree or something. So those don't work, but other than that, it seems like it's in good condition. So really stoked about that. I've been updating the inside of the Sequoia a lot, just organizing things and trying to take the gear that I use all the time and just make it more accessible. All of these pouches here on the back are one of the new organization systems I've been working on, and it's super great for things like a flashlight, or I have my Garmin inReach on here as well. All types of stuff, scissors, zip ties, just things that I might need. If you guys are interested in learning more about how I keep all of my gear organized on the inside of my Sequoia, I could definitely make a video on that. Got flashlights, more flashlights, headlamps down here. Let me know if you guys are interested in a video more about interior organization, and I can look into making a video about that. Guys, listen to how hard the ground is. It's just absolutely frozen right now. It's so cold out here. I am just warming up in the car now, and while I do so, I just want to take a second to give all of you guys a big thank you. When I woke up this morning, I saw that we had hit the 3,000 subscriber mark, which is crazy because it feels like it was only a couple months ago that we were getting to 2,000 subscribers. I just want to say thank you to each and every one of you who watches my videos, likes my videos, comments on my videos. Your support means so much to me, and it allows me to keep going on these trips and making these videos for you guys. So I just wanted to say thank you to all of you guys who watch my videos. I really appreciate it, and let's keep this thing going. It's definitely a lot colder out here this morning than it was yesterday, especially with the wind chill. Low 20s is pretty cold to just be hanging out outside. So I'm going to head back to town here, and that is going to wrap it up for this video. It was definitely a pretty cold trip, but it's important to remember that there are pros and cons to camping in the winter. While the colder weather definitely makes it harder to be outside, one of the benefits to camping in the winter is it's typically a lot quieter, and last night I got this entire place to myself. I really hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe. It's a great free way to help support my channel as well. Thanks again for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.